Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3Chart, and welcome to episode 252 of my weekly Q&A show, Top People's Questions, episode 252. We got a pretty solid number of questions, and I believe maybe one or two newbies, so let's jump right into it. The first question comes from the man who usually likes to have the number one spot, Mr. Santos Scarpino, so welcome back to the top. And you wanted to know, which is my least favorite boss fight from the pre-reboot Devil May Cry series? We're going into, my least favorite boss fight would have to be the little squid monster in Devil May Cry 2. The reason I don't like it was because I felt it was just, in terms of the design of the boss fight itself, it was just terribly made. The way that the boss fight was actually structured, it was in this rectangular-like area. And the whole point was he had these tentacles that he would kind of reach out and he would sweep and attack you and grab you as much as he could. The problem is that there's actually a corner on the right side of him where he can't reach, he can't attack you in that position. So if you just keep jumping up and keep shooting him over and over again, you can kill him that way. And I think that boss fights that are like badly designed like that are just terrible. The next question comes from Matthew Keller. You want to know, would I prefer to work under Garrus for advice or Thane? Certainly Thane. I think Thane's skill set as a assassin and as a stealth infiltrator, I think that requires a much higher and more sophisticated skill knowledge. Rather than Garrus, who's more of like a tank. I mean, if I needed support, if I would need someone to watch my back, I would definitely pick Garrus. But if I need to do an assignment where I want to cause as least as noise as possible, I just want to get in and out, take out the target, or complete the objective quickly and quietly, then I would obviously go to Thane for that. Next question comes from Matt Cruse. You want to know, who do I think would make a great matchup against Sora from Kingdom Hearts? I can't think of anybody. I don't think anyone would really be a good fit for Sora. Anyone who can beat anyone who could beat Sephiroth on 2 occasions could literally beat just about anybody. So off the top of my head, I can't really think of anyone I would use for Sora because I think he's just a little bit way too overpowered for just about any character in any franchise that I'm familiar with the most. But maybe there's like some overpowered universe-destroying creature that might be able to take on Sora, but I think even that's a stretch. Next question comes from Malibutah, and you want to know, will I be reviewing the new Yu-Gi-Oh movie? Yes, I am. Because it's currently my most anticipated movie of 2017. So yeah, obviously when it comes out on the 27th, if I can find a theater here in Vegas that's playing it, I will be sure to see it and do a movie review for it. Next question comes from Michael Belin, and he wants to know, during the events of Metal Gear Solid 3, did I think that the boss purposely lost Big Boss in their fight, or do I think that the Big Boss defeated the boss when she was at her best? I recently had a question, someone asked me this question in my the boss versus Salt Snake matchup, and I absolutely believe that Big Boss beat the boss at her best. The reason I believe that is simply due to the boss's mentality. Yeah, she wanted to lose, she wanted to die in that fight, but I don't think she would give that victory to Big Boss on purpose. I think she would want him to earn that. And I think that being his teacher, being his master, you always want your student to surpass you. And the only way you can do that is if you fight at your best and you prove to yourself that your sister has beaten you. And I think in those last few moments before she died, she had the clarification that, you know, Big Boss had taken what she had taught him, used it against her, and now moving forward, he's going to be able to take the knowledge that she passed on to him and go even further with it. It's a common trend of passing on to the next generation. So you have Big Boss surpassing the boss, and you have Solid Snake surpassing Big Boss. And so, without question, I absolutely believe that Big Boss did beat the boss at her best. The next question comes from Cyborg 136, and he wants to know, what do I think of the upcoming Metal Gear Solid game coming out? Well, I'm not going to play it, and it's not really a Metal Gear Solid game. Metal Gear Solid Survive. What the hell? This is a franchise known for espionage and stealth. What the hell does it have to do with zombies? And after the damage that Konami did to the Metal Gear Solid franchise from Metal Gear Solid 5, which is why I don't view it as canon, this is just a clear example of what moving forward they're going to do with this franchise. I don't know what Hideo Kojima did, but he couldn't have done anything to deserve this kind of treatment, to see the franchise that he created be systematically destroyed, which is what we are going to see. All I can pray for is that Konami eventually loses the rights to Metal Gear Solid and someone else is willing to take it, reboot it, and give it the proper respect that it deserves, because Metal Gear Solid is my favorite franchise of all time. But heck, as it stands right now, it's currently in the shitter, so kind of sad. The next question comes from HighYourGoodBlood881, and you want to know, is there anyone on the Normandy or Final Fantasy who would be able to properly balance the light side and dark side of the Force to use in combat? Basically, you're asking, could someone pull a Mace Windu and pull a Vapad? No. No. You can't, I mean, you would say that a Grey Jedi could do that, but Grey Jedis are not initially evil. Be able to balance both sides, you'd have to be a pretty emotionally stable character, and there really aren't too many characters that are like that. There are characters who are insane, there are characters that are angry, there are characters that are vengeful, there are characters that are depressed, there are characters that are spritey. No one really is level-headed. I mean, even the most apparently cool character, in my opinion, Orin, when talking about his past, gets angry. He gets very depressed because he feels ashamed that he wasn't able to save his friends. And I'd say he's probably the closest who could ever get to that, but even he can't pull that off. So no, I don't think anyone from Mass Effect or Final Fantasy could ever pull off a proper balance of both. It's just too unstable. The next question comes from, I believe, the one newbie of the episode, going by the name of George I'm sorry. There's your name. I'm really terrible with names, and you got like a weird one to me. And you want to know, you don't know if someone's asked this before, but am I planning on using Noctis in a fight? And if so, how would he be presented? And would he be presented as he is in 15 alone, or would I take information from how he is in Versus 13? This is probably my favorite question of the episode, simply because I'm in a situation where I really want to use Noctis, but a friend of mine, and some of you might know him, recently posted a video stating that he's going to do a preview or kind of a character analysis of Noctis in a specific way. And this has me a little bit worried, because my concern is that if he does that video, he's going to want to use this character in a versus matchup of his, and because of his popularity, I don't think I could use Noctis ever. And so it's kind of a really kind of sketchy situation where I really want to use his character. I think he wants to use his character, but because he's more popular, it's just not going to feel right. I kind of want to use characters that no one else is using. I don't mind if other people use certain characters, but the fact that me and my friend have such similar formats, I don't want our ideas to conflict, and I don't want our viewers going at each other, which doesn't help anybody. And to some people's surprises, the one character that I would absolutely put Noctis up against, surprisingly, is Lightning. And I know what people are saying. I was like, what? You're going to use Lightning? You said you'd never use Lightning. I was like, I know what I said. But against Noctis, Lightning is someone I would be willing to be fair. Despite my overwhelming biased hatred of the character and of the entire Final Fantasy 13 universe, that's probably the one matchup I would be absolutely fair and would draw this matchup down the middle to find out who would really win. And despite what some people may think of in terms of Noctis's presentation in the games, he does have a number of key weaknesses that Lightning could take advantage of. So I really think I could make a really great matchup between the two. But it's really up to my friend of whether or not he really wants to go through with using Noctis, because if he does use Noctis, then I'll let him have the character and I'll just try to come up with something else. But yes, I absolutely do want to use Noctis in a matchup of my own, but it's really up to my friend to decide that. And I believe that is the last question of the episode. So I'd like to thank all of you guys for making this episode possible. If you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer in next week's episode, be sure to type them in the comments down below. Make sure you get them into me before next Wednesday, before I start filming this. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time.